Uh-oh, guess what day it is?
I'm gonna make you girls a hump day treat.
Mike. It's hump day.
Perhaps I could help you with that hump. What hump?
A very good day for some midweek malarkey.
Sorry, I was just reading my copy of Restraining Judicial Activism by my buddy David Barton, and it's just, I don't know, for some reason today it just felt like a good time to. But it's Midweek Malarkey, because you know what we don't do on Midweek Malarkey? Well, we do sometimes, but only when I feel like it. Let's see, Oregon counties want to secede from the Union Joint Idaho. Got Chilean gangs entering the United States and terrorizing people in Michigan and California. National debt, $1 trillion. Nope. Because it is hump day, because it is the day on which we hump and we cross over that threshold, the downhill slide into Friday, the weekend, right? Used to mean something. Now it's like 2 more days until Monday. I'm Brad Staggs, and we do this each week with the exception of last week when I didn't do it because I didn't do it. If you're new to the program, we're fairly dependable. I mean, for old people. I once was young myself. You can find me on the Daily Mojo on a daily basis from 7 to 9 in the morning. If you want to watch and listen to the live stream, that is Central Time. And otherwise, you can listen to it on your favorite podcast platform, preferably by going to thedailymojo.com and downloading the Daily Mojo app, which is very simple to do. Even that guy can do it. I want to thank, first of all, Wisconsin Jackhole. And if you would like to make a suggestion for Midweek Malarkey, please do so on the socials. I think I have a page for that, don't I? Yeah, there it is. At Real Brad Staggs on the socials. You can send me an email. Good luck. I'm not even sure that email address works, but you can try it. Brad at thedailymojo.com. Best way is to send me a note on the app. Just install the Daily Mojo app. Got vitamins and minerals, all kinds of good stuff. Right? Right. So Wisconsin Jackhole put this out there, and he retweeted Breaking 911. And if you haven't seen this yet, I mean, this is just, we like to tickle each, not in that sense, not in the Weinstein sense of tickling, but we do, on occasion, we just have a good time. That's Habib. He'll get over it. So the courtroom scene here is a judge and a dude who is there to, I guess they're going to either give him a ticket or tell him what the outcome of, driving without a license is.
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
He's late to court.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks that the court would allow.
See, the judge is looking there because it's like, wait a second. This is about the dude driving. Corey Harris is, I guess, his name. It says it right there on the screen. The Honorable Cedric Simpson is like, hey, wait a minute. Isn't this about driving without a license? And are you driving right now? Corey? Asking for a friend?
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something.
Mm-hmm.
This is a driving while license suspended?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
yep.
He didn't have a license.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Right
about
about
the charges,
then,
Your Honor. Yes.
Right about then, Corey, the light goes off in Corey's head because you can see it right there in his eyes, like a flash bulb. He's like, "Oh, dude! No, seriously, dude, Your Honor, dude, sir,
Yes.
Sir." No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
You know what? This is the point, Corey, where you just make something up. Just make some. Tell them it's one of those new action rides, and it's green screen, and you were just doing the weather, and now it looks like you're driving a car. I'm telling you, what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And Corey's like, dude, faster on your feet. Brother, think faster on your feet. If you're going to do this, if you are going to commit if you're showing up, come on. You got to think faster than this. It's a green screen. I didn't even have that one planned out. Not a whole lot of words being exchanged. The tape is rolling right now, and no one's saying anything. Except me. Otherwise, it would be awkward.
Hello?
Hello.
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Mr. Harris, the judge in this matter is trying to decide whether or not he should have even gotten up this morning. Because they do not know.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Corey. Mr. Harris. Victim Maitland. Look at the look on Corey's face. He's like, I'm telling you, tell him you're doing the weather. Oh, man. This is not going to look good.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
How many you will be? It does make you feel bad for him because he's like, man, okay, so I was a little late. That's when you just jump out. You just kidding. I'm not driving. It's all this electronic gadgetry. That's what it is. All right, so this, well, you know what, but first, I'm going to show it to you. This is, anybody have any idea what this is? If you're listening to the podcast after the live performance of this program, then you're not going to probably guess what it is because you can't see it. I mean, if you've got like ESP or something, but it's, this is should I tell you what it is or should I play it? Because they say that this is the most terrifying sound in the world. All right, let me, and it's scariest sound in the world. Are you ready? It's not my ex-wife's voice either. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. That was a Greg Hahn rim shot. Anyway, this is the sound
in the world.
All right, listen. It does sound like an ex-wife's voice. I'm not going to suggest that it couldn't be. I'm just saying that this one in particular is not one of mine. Well, actually, this is a little more soothing. Anybody want to guess what that is? No, it's not a person screaming. Strangely enough. That right there is, they call it the scream of 1,000 corpses. Right? Who said that Wednesdays and Midweek Malarkey weren't all kinds of fun? The experts in this matter, believe that the Aztec death whistle may have been used to carry sacrificial victim souls to the afterlife. It certainly would scare the crap out of you, wouldn't it? It does sound a lot like a scream, but it's not. If you think about it as a whistle, isn't that nice? But if you think about it as being a whistle, you can kind of hear it being a whistle, not the terrified screams of a human being. It was used, they say, during sacrificial ceremonies. It's understood to have honored the ancient Mesoamerican god of wind, Ehecatl. Hope I said that right. Experts have recreated the noise by 3D printing a version of the skull-shaped instrument. Who said tech ain't cool? Am I right? It was It was created after careful study, they say, of the design fragments uncovered from a burial site in Mexico in the late 1990s. James Orgel, who hosts the educational YouTube channel Action Lab, which actually does some cool stuff on there, which produces videos on scientific experiments, said this has been deemed the most terrifying sound in the world. And no, it is not a human scream. Pretty wild. Again, see, social media, and I know YouTube is social media. I mean, I guess when it started, it wasn't really, so it was more just like content sharing, but it's social and it's media. Hence social media. See, it's not all bad. It really isn't. Some sad news. Happy face, sad news. This is Henry Earl. Henry Earl had the distinction of being the world's most arrested man. He lived in Owenton, Kentucky. He was at a nursing home there when he passed away at the age of 74 last week. His criminal history included more than 1,500 busts, as in criminal acts, not in, busts. But you knew that. Preaching to the choir. For the last several years of his life, Earl resided at a nursing home there in Owenton, Kentucky, a city about 50 miles from Lexington. This time of year, it is stunning. That's where he actually committed the majority of his crimes. And he got the majority of his arrests. As reported in the pages, he was regularly collared for public order crimes fueled by alcohol and booked into the Fayette County Detention Center in Lexington. He had a little taste for the drink. You know what? Well, he's 74, so he's seen some stuff. I don't blame him. According to jail records, Earl would usually spend several days behind bars before being released back to the Lexington streets. There's a song in there. Lexington Street. I'll think of it. We do have a song, by the way, before the end of the program. He was 5'4" tall. That's saying something right there. Affectionately known as James Brown, he was first busted in Fayette County in July 1970 for carrying a concealed weapon. He was only 20 at the time. Over the decades, his rap sheet became so lengthy it threatened to deplete U.S. timber reserves. See what they did there. That's funny because it was like cutting down trees. Paper. Anyway, in the few years before he entered the nursing home back in 2017, he spent longer stretches in custody when the leniency he had been afforded by scores of judges. Likely not this dude. I have a sneaky feeling that the Honorable... God, I've already forgotten his name. I feel so bad about that. Hang on. The Honorable...
Okay.
No, I didn't want you to end. I wanted to see what the judge's name was. Can we not see the Honorable? Oh, for crying out loud. Why does it have to be? Oh, it's playing down there. That's why. Come on, Grandpa, get with it. The Honorable Cedric Simpson. Like I said, he probably would not have cut any slack for Henry Earl. You know, it takes some work. 1,500. His last arrest was in April of 2017 for public intoxication. Huh. No surviving family members have been identified. Well, that's kind of sucky. He's at an Owenton cemetery, so if you head that way, if you are in the Kentucky area, stop by. Put a flower on his grave, if you can find it. It is the great equalizer. Can I get an amen? Amen. Next up. Oh, speaking of characters. Let's see. Do I want to... No. Here, you want to see... This is dude. This is David Jackson. Jackson 5, I don't know. David Jackson is his name, and he he's a Florida man. Go figure. Huh. Now, the thing about Jackson is apparently he is like, He might be a contortionist. And I say that because they were looking for him. He was hiding from the popo, and somehow he was able to fold himself inside a dryer. And that is no small feat. You see what I did? No small feat. Shut up. So anyway, he got himself inside a dryer. He was being sought by cops on felony assault and weapons charges, because nothing says comedy like felony assault and weapons charges, when investigators received a tip that Jackson was inside a Pensacola residence. During a search this past Friday of said residence, the deputies discovered that he had somehow crawled inside the laundry room and then inside the dryer itself. See, that inside a remarkably small dryer drum is what they're saying. Again, credit where credit is due. Does it look like his hands are tied? I don't know. See if cops report Jackson wearing a purple Star Wars T-shirt. He was pulled from the appliance and arrested. He's being held at the Escambia County lockup in lieu of $120,000 bond. According to a June 2023 police report, Jackson is 5'10" and weighs 150 pounds. And I don't think, that looks like a Kenmore. That's right there. That is a good ad for, the capacity. Whoever the dryer manufacturer is, I'm thinking they ought to be all over that. Like, hey, look how many clothes you can fit in here. Over in the Rumble chat room, by the way, if you are listening to the podcast of the program, you can also watch it live, 4 o'clock Wednesdays at either midweekmalarkey.com. You can watch it at the Daily Mode. You can watch it on X. You can watch it on just about everywhere. I mean, it's everywhere. And you can join the chat over on the in the Rumble. I think that's the one on the dailymojo.com, but I really don't know. Original Babe said, Brad needs a co-host. That's why you're here, Original Babe. And Glad86 says, I like it when Brad's on his own. He's a hoot. We're going to have us a surfing hoot nanny. I don't feel like I'm alone because I got you, babe. Glad86, Kentucky is the only place I was arrested for public intox on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere by myself, avoiding a fight a few miles back. Right? It's like you're trying to do the right thing. You're getting out of everybody's way, and they hunt you down. I feel you. I've been in the back of, and you know what? The back of police cars are just not comfortable. They really should do something about that. Or maybe I just shouldn't spend time in the back of a police car. See over, hey Mary, over in the YouTube chat room. I was on, I was kind of lurking and stalking Brandon Morse earlier today when he was on his program on Rumble. Brandon Morse is a brand risk. And it's kind of frustrating being on your side of the fence because you want to say something, but there should be a way, and I know there's like Twitter Spaces or whatever it is, but there should be a way for, and there might be, I might just be old and have forgotten how to do it, like record, say, hey, what's up, Brad? And you hit send and it pops up and then you play it. We're working on that. We can put a man on the, we think we can put a man on the moon, but we can't have you talk over here for whatever reason. Paige says, yep. And Fish and Farm says, looks like a bong. Oh, the whistle, the death whistle. That's kind of look like a bong. Boy, I'd trip you out, wouldn't it? Sitting around partying, somebody blows on that thing. The whistle, be clear about what you're talking about. I mean, you're all just, having a big time, and all of a sudden, like, hey, listen to this. Yeah, dick. Right? There's always one in every crowd. All right, where were we? Oh. Yeah, what is it with Atlanta? I mean, I know what it is with Atlanta, but, and by the way, if you do see, dude, Tell them we said hey. Down at the Onyx Club in Atlanta, apparently they got some, I mean, we all know that they've got cash in strip clubs, but who knew they had this much? Georgia authorities in Fulton County searching for suspects who reportedly gained entry to said strip club in Atlanta in the early morning hours, I think it was last week, and absconded with roughly 250 large. All right, for you unhip out there, 250 large means $250,000. You didn't, I knew what it meant. The two burglars wore gloves and ski masks and broke into the business through the roof at approximately 4:15 a.m. Atlanta police said the suspects entered the Cheshire Bridge Road Onyx Gentlemen's Club, crawled to the safes, and apparently used power tools to access the cash. The robbers remained inside the club for nearly 2 hours and did not trigger any security alarms. Wow, that's weird. It's almost like they knew where stuff was. Officials said they discovered the ATMs and overturned. They were overturned. They were facing down, but otherwise untouched. Huh. But wait. ATMs? They didn't take the money from the ATMs, right? I mean, they took the money from the club, but the ATMs, they didn't get any money. It was an inside job. Of course it was an inside job. It's like, remember the out in California? Not Wells Fargo. What's the other? Was it Wells Fargo? The cash business out there. California cash business got robbed. Remember that? It was about, 3 weeks ago? Business, California cash business gets robbed. Brad just typing. Yeah, remember that? It was Easter. $30 million. I mean, that's a lot from the vault. It was the, what the hell was the name of the place? Garda World. You remember that? Of course you do. What, I wonder if they've, wonder if they gotten anybody yet, because I haven't heard that they did. And it was $30 million on Easter Sunday. It's almost like these inside jobs. Nobody seems to care. North Fort Myers. There is a woman there, and her name escapes me at the moment. Julie Pittman. Julie Pittman is, doesn't look too happy there in her mugshot, does she? She was accused of charging to her company credit card. I know she works at Walmart or I don't know where she works, but wherever she works, they gave her a company credit card. And so she decided that she was going to put, a few things on the company credit card. Wow. Why do people, who hasn't been tempted, right? I mean, you got the company credit card, you're like at Target or whatever. Now, I need some soap. You get everything, for the business that you're there for. You pay, okay, I need a pack of gum. And you put that and you use the company credit card. And you're like, nobody's going to care if I buy gum on the company credit card, right? I mean, why would they? I mean, it's kind of a dick move. You buy gum. I bought gum. You're not supposed to. But according to the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, Julie Pittman, she was hired by the Village of Holiday Lake. I guess it's like a townhomes or something. Anyway, so she gets hired. They give her the credit card. She's out there and she's purchasing office and pool supplies. And then she decides to get some stuff for her own. Again, like I said, it's tempting. And by the time it was all over, she had charged $42,000 worth of stuff for personal. I know, right? It's 42 grand. What's 42 grand? I mean, come on. You've seen the Village of Holiday Lake and their association there. I mean, they poop money. What's $42,000 to them? She apparently spent this on flights, Amazon purchases, grocery stores. Well, hell, right there, if you just buy dinner at Kroger, that's 20 grand. Animal hospitals and several restaurant purchases totaling, it says 32,000 there, it says 42,000 here. What's $10,000 amongst friends, right? The report states that Pittman's employer or her employment was terminated in November due to poor work performance. Apparently, she did this stuff like June of last year. And so, she turns in the card. And then when they go to use it, they're like, "Oh, sorry, you can't use this card because it's frozen because they didn't pay the bill, and they should have." Report says that Pittman had a second card from the accountant in her name, and that the board of directors was unaware of that one. She ain't no dummy. She's accused of changing the billing address to her son's in order to deceive the board from knowing that the card was being used fraudulently. Clever, but I cannot condone it. However, I do understand it. She's being charged with fraudulent use of credit cards 2 or more times, $100 or more, obtaining control of credit card as security for debt, and illegally obtained credit cards by authorized provider over $300. Am I right? Damn straight I'm right. Today's episode of Midweek Malarkey, of course, brought to you by GetWellMojo.com. If you are not familiar with the medical kits that you can get over at GetWellMojo.com, take a look. Ironically, you just go to GetWellMojo.com. And when you do that, you'll be the portal will take you right into the wellness company, and some of these kits are tailored just to you if you have like specific prescription needs for pharmaceuticals. They can include those. Some of them are like generic, just a travel emergency kit. If you're out on the road and you're getting ready to go somewhere, it is summertime, and you just never know what you're going to run into. Because if you do run into something, that's an accident, and it might be an emergency, and you might need the first aid kit. So please just take a look at GetWellMojo.com and see if it's something that you would like to invest in for your family and you. I mean, if you care about them, you'll do it, right? GetWellMojo.com. All right, checking the chat rooms because, again, I want to give you the voice. Original Babe says, well, it seems like her plan did not work. You are indeed correct. It should, and it's the look on her face that kind of tells you. It's written right. She's like, damn it. Huh. Glad 86. She was fired from a company that peddles in child sex trafficking for stealing. I think that's an oxymoron. Wait, who said that they... Wow, that just took an ugly turn. They... Really? Or are you just... You're yanking my chain. Aren't you? I think you are. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? That is a beautiful sight right there. That is the Naples Pier. That is in Florida. In Naples, Florida. Hence the name Naples Pier. This woman, I'll show you her. I mean, she looks sweet, right? I don't really think she has the crazy eyes. All right, so she's down there on the pier with another person. Does not say. It just says a couple, so I'm not going to assume that it is a man and a woman. It could be a woman. I don't know. But police say the two people were accused of having sexual intercourse at the Naples Pier on Monday. They say it was in front of kids. I don't know what kids are doing out there in the, I don't know if it was the middle of the night or what, but after they were confronted by the police, Popo come walking up on them, and the woman, that woman right there, she jumped in the water to swim away. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. It was a man and woman. That's kind of refreshing, right? I mean, it's a man and a woman out there. Huh. You just never know anymore. Could end up being like a trans giraffe and who knows. According to the Naples Police Department, not Nipples, Naples, they received multiple calls about a man and a woman having sex on the pier through the locked gate around 4:30 in the afternoon. Wait a second, it's a locked gate? If it's locked, how'd they get there? Did they bust through? When officers arrived at the scene, they said they found Alicia Razzo, who is 20. Look, what is it with the eyebrows? I mean, is it? I know it's this generation, but what is it with the? I mean, they look like they're about to walk away. Can we do something about that? So you got Alicia there, and then you had Zadok Westfield, who's 23, young and dumb, actively engaged in intercourse. Make love, not war. At least they weren't shooting people, right? According to the report, they both stood up and looked disheveled. As the late, great Doc Thompson would say, in flagrante delicto. Exactly. The woman stepped to the edge of the pier, and after being told not to by the police, they say she jumped in the water. I am out of here. I am out of here. Don't you even think about stopping me. Right? Apparently she was picked up by the beach patrol, who I'm sure did not stare at the naked woman they were pulling out of the water, right? I'm sure they averted their eyes. Westfield, the dude, that would be Zadok. Fascinating name, Zadok. Zadok Westfield. I wonder what Zadok looks like. I mean, I found her picture. But let's see what, anybody want to guess? All right. I mean, actually not a bad looking guy. Let's see. Hold on a second. I'm going to go over here. We're going to, up there. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. There you go. There's Zadok and Alicia. Good looking people, right? They're just, like I said, were they shooting anybody? Were they cutting people's tires? Were they knifing people? No. They were just trying to put a little more love in this world. A witness present at the scene with 4 children ages 7 to 15 reported the incident after the children witnessed the public sex act. But I'm confused. If they had to get through a locked gate, I don't know. I wasn't there. So what do I know? Razzo, Alicia, was arrested on charges of trespassing, disturbing the peace, and resisting an officer, while Westfield was charged with disturbing the peace and disorderly conduct. Right, they were doing the same thing. How'd they get different charges? I get so confused. Just laws today, am I right? So no matter where you are listening to the program this afternoon, which, again, if you're listening live, it is Wednesday, Hump Day, May the 29th, year of our Lord 2024. No matter where you are listening, you do not, well, you might. Okay, I have to give it to you this way. Let me give it to you this way. There's now a list of the dirtiest cities in the United States. This is from Lawn Starter. They compared 152 U.S. cities in the categories of pollution, living conditions, infrastructure, and customer satisfaction. Really? Customer satisfaction of a city? All right, fine. Let's see. This one here, and it is, I'll give you, it's in Texas. And it is the third most polluted of all of the cities ranked. So at least in Texas, we, I don't know if it's something to be proud of or not, but Houston was the third most polluted of all the cities ranked, right behind San Bernardino, California, and Peoria, Arizona. Really, I've never heard of Peoria, Arizona. Well, I've heard of Peoria, but it cites another study that found that the city's petrochemical facilities severely violate EPA safety guidelines. Oh, the Environmental Protection Agency, that bastion of truth and light, right? Because I'm sure that they're always giving us the lowdown and the skinny and the truth. I mean, granted, it does it does smell, but when you get by the refineries, it does, right? Anyway, the data says that Houston ranks third worst in greenhouse gas emissions from large industrial facilities, and the city was the biggest cockroach problem of the list as well. Well, when you got trash piling like that up on the street, you're going to have some cockroaches, right? Spokesman for the Houston Solid Waste Management Department, which is in charge of waste collection, disposal, and recycling, did not immediately respond to a Fox News Digital request for comment. Those bastards. Hey, can we get a comment on the fact that you are like the nastiest, third nastiest city in the... Would you like to... I mean, what do you say to that when they call to get a comment? Yep. Dog, we're going for number 2 next year. I don't know, it sounded like goofy. Right there, that is a picture. That is the picture of, I don't know if that's regret or distress or gas or what that is. But those peeps right there in Georgia, the 2 people right there, that would be Jerry Edwards. Dude, he's 39. No way. Rihanna Phelps, how old do you think she is? So dude is 39. She's 32. Whew. Tough life. Times have been tough for them. So they arrested these 2 after they searched their home in Paulding County, Georgia. Last week before, Georgia Bureau of Investigation's Northwest Georgia Drug Task Force. They got in there and they searched that place, and they found, and it was after a 2-month-long drug investigation by the Northwest Georgia Drug Task Force. During the search, over 1,000 grams of meth. I don't know what the street value on that is, but I'll bet they were bummed. Along with various amounts of cocaine, ecstasy, MDEA. What's MDEA? I've heard of MDMA, but MDEA, is that better? Oh. Psilocybin mushrooms and marijuana were located in the residence, which belonged to Gary Edwards there. 47 firearms also located in the residence, and those were seized by agents as well. See, those weapons are, I mean, they've seen better days, right? There's that kind of nice little AR right there. All right, there's some Glocks. Oh, there's like a little 32. Right? Yeah, it looks like a little snub-nosed 32, like a little old Colt. That's kind of cool. And I don't know, I guess that's the meth. Man, don't you know they're going like, how much work they put into that, and now it's all sitting there on the old evidence table. And he'll probably lose his house, too. I mean, I'm not defending the guy. I am not condoning it. I'm just saying that with the whole civil asset forfeiture thing, they are likely he's going to lose the house. If he had a car, he's going to lose that. If he just if he had just been a responsible citizen of these United-ish states of ours, just done the right, just get a job at Walmart, would you? Welcome to Costco. I love you. If you had just done that and not, meth, would have been different. I mean, he could have had a job like our buddy here. This guy's name is, the victim's name is Dr. Sabine Lovell. This dude's name, where the hell is his name? It was right there a second ago. Seriously, where the hell did his name go? Where did his name go? He's 28 years old. And anyway, let me just describe the situation. So Dr. Sabine Lavelle is sitting there in the restaurant. It's Whole Foods. And have you seen the prices in there lately? Hey. So it's the one on Peachtree Boulevard, and she's sitting there, and she's like having her food and stuff, and then she's like, "Hey, I think somebody just spilled hot coffee on my back." But it wasn't coffee that was on her back. It was, You get, I don't, do I have to? No, I'm not going to say it. I don't have to say it because you know what it is. Apparently she looked, hot. I'm not condoning it. I'm just telling you. She says, I see this gentleman walking down the aisle who's pretending to be shopping. He's holding a basket. He looks kind of like a normal gentleman, like late 20s, early 30s. Nothing like extra sus about him. When she bent over to grab a bag of chips, when she bent over to grab a bag of chips, he walked up to her from behind. She said, I felt something like I was just wet and warm on my back. She thought it was coffee. Stop it. I'm just reporting it. So I put my hand on the small of my back. And she said it was like gooey. And I see this guy looking at me, and then he zips his pants up. Then he runs away. Chicken. She immediately begins running after him, yelling loudly for somebody to stop him before she calls the cops. She wanted to draw as much attention to the situation as possible and gain witnesses. It's that old trope. How many times you go to Whole Foods, you bend over to pick up a bag of chips, and right? Pretty soon, dude is there like, hey, looking good to me. Let's see, back over in the glad he said illegals. Where were the illegals? I don't think any of the crimes we just talked about were illegal, were they? Chicago is what we call it in the Midwest. Chicago? Oh, Sweet Ray says that. When I drove a tractor semi, I wouldn't take cargo through New York for the extra pay. Open the door to your mystery date. I'd take all the guns. Yeah. I mean, some of those are not going to be worth a damn thing. But the next time they have like a buyback where they're going to give you $100, I mean, you can turn in some of those $50 guns and keep the cash. Oh, Sweet Ray, that must have been the timing on it. Yeah. Ew, I know, right? The mind of Zoe. This guy is the quickest MFer in the world, right? Is he an illegal? I don't know. He doesn't look illegal. I mean, does he? I don't know. Is he illegal? Wearing a shirt that says Denver. I don't necessarily think that makes him illegal. Just saying. Don't forget, please, to, install the Daily Mojo app if you haven't already done so. If you have an Android phone, we can get you psychological help. But you also don't really have to install the app because it's what's called a progressive web app, which I don't know. Ron, who put this whole thing together and spent a lot of time on it, so don't give him all that much grief. He says, if you have the Android, you just go to there are instructions at thedailymojo.com. Just go there and follow the instructions. But he says, you download it. Well, you don't really download it. You just make a shortcut to it on your Android phone. And again, it'll work for you, as long as for the time it takes for you to get psychological help and get away from an Android and get to the right kind of phone. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But please download it and turn on notifications. That way you will be alerted whenever whenever it's time for Midweek Malarkey or perhaps Saturday Morning Live with me and Jeff Fisher from Chewing the Fat or on the Blaze Radio Network. We get together on Saturday mornings and we just, kind of just hang out and try to be normal because there's enough weirdness in the world and, well, we like to point fingers at it. And then there's this. I had our artificial intelligence machine write a little song, a little ditty about it being HumpDay, and I suggested that maybe it was about, some the camels were singing. I don't think that's all that weird, do you? Camels singing a song? No. And it's called, and these may be the ones singing it, I don't know. But the song is called, and let me just ask you this. What the hell are the three camels on the right doing? Right? mean, is that some sort of... That is a weird... It's a cigarette. It's got going through... Well, if you're listening to the podcast, I'm telling you, go back and watch this part of Midweek Malarkey, because I don't know what those camels are doing. But let me just say, they can sing. I'll tell you that.
Woke up in the morning, feeling free, feeling fine. Stars and stripes shining, it's that Wednesday time. We ain't got no worries, middle of the week is here. Grab a cold brew, darling, raise it high and cheer. HumpDay, USA, celebrating every way with a camel and beer, yell it out loud and clear.
Right? This is good stuff right here. They're great singers, is all I'm saying.
Woke up in the morning, feeling free, feeling fine. Stars and stripes are shining, it's that Wednesday time.
Right?
We ain't got no worries, middle of the week is here. Grab a cold brew, darling, raise it high and cheer.
It comes out of Whole Foods.
USA, celebrating every way with a camel and beer, yell it out loud and clear.
I'm just saying, that may be our new theme song. Am I right? And another exciting episode of Midweek Malarkey is in the can, appropriately enough. Please remember to smash that like button if there is one, subscribe if you can, rate and review if it's possible, and tell a couple of friends about the show. Help spread the word if you please. Coming up tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Central, it's another fun-filled excursion into the real world on the Daily Mojo with me and producer Ron. Every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock Central, join me and Jeff Fisher from the Chewing the Fat podcast as we point out the absurd, the ridiculous, and the abnormal. And that's just Congress. Hey-o. Now go forth and be fruitful. We need to outpopulate the stupid. I'll let Habib have the last word. Habib?